High Voltage is the first internationally released studio album by Australian hard rock band AC/DC. It contains tracks from their first two previous Australia-only issued albums, High Voltage and T.N.T., originally released internationally on April 30, 1976 on Atlantic Records and in the US on May 14, 1976. This edition of High Voltage has proven popular, selling 3 million units in the US alone. However, initially the album was panned by some critics upon its release, including a review by Rolling Stone magazine's Billy Altman that called it an all-time low for the hard rock genre. It was re-released in 2003 as part of the AC/DC Remasters series. Overview: prior to the release of the international version of High Voltage, AC/DC had already released their debut album under the same name High Voltage a year before in Australia only. This edition of the album had a different track listing. The international release only included 2 tracks from the original release. The rest of the songs were taken from AC/DC's second album T.N.T. The international release of High Voltage also had 2 different album covers from the original. One featured a picture of Angus Young as he appeared on the cover of the Australian single for It's a Long Way to the Top. An alternative cover was used on the international version's European release. Most editions of the international album have a version of It's a Long Way to the Top that is shorter than the original album version. The full-length version is 5:10, while the edited version shortens the last chorus, causing the track to fade out early at 5:01. Vinyl editions of the international album contain the edited version. The 1994 remastered CD on Atco Records replaced the edited version of the track with the full-length version. The 2003 remastered CD on Epic Records reverted it back to the edited version. The original version of High Voltage, which features on the T.N.T. album, was longer and finished with a sustained guitar note followed by a single hit of the snare drum. The international version has the song fade out before the sustained note. In popular culture, Randy Couture used the song Live Wire as his entrance song at UFC 102. The cover was shown in an episode of The Cosby Show during the first season. The song T.N.T. was featured in the movie Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby. Reception: High Voltage was initially subject to mixed reviews, but garnered positive reception over the years. Allmusic's review, by Stephen Thomas Lewin, praised Angus Young's monster riffs, which appear to be easy but give the music its strength, and this allows Scott to be somebody who never hid the notion that lurking behind the door are some bad, dangerous things, but they're also fun. Track listing: all songs credited to Angus Young, Malcolm Young and Bon Scott except where noted. Side A Side B published by J. Albert and Son Proprietary Limited. Tracks 7 and 8 were previously released on the band's first Australian studio album High Voltage in February 1975. The rest were previously released on the band's second Australian studio album T.N.T. in December 1975. Personnel: Bon Scott Euro-led vocals, bagpipes on It's a Long Way to the Top, Angus Young Euro-led guitar, Malcolm Young Euro rhythm guitar, backing vocals, Mark Evans Euro bass guitar, Phil Rudd Euro drums. Additional personnel: Peter Clack, drums on She's Got Balls, John Proud, drums on Little Lover, Rob Bailey, bass guitar on She's Got Balls, George Young, bass guitar on Little Lover. Production: producers, Vander and Young for Albert Productions, recording studio, Albert Studios, Sydney, Australia. Cover photo: Michael Putland. Certification: references